The add taxi driver wizard forms I felt were a good way to add some user friendliness to the program. I tried to emulate the same sort of layout and design, including the size that is prevalent across Windows in general, as users would be familiar to this. So if we just have a look how it looks, sorry about that. So this sort of layout and design is something that users would be familiar with. One important factor is that information is passed to and from each form, and it must stay the same. So even though to the user they just think they're navigating, through forms, through one continuous thing, but it's actually several different forms, but the same information must appear even if you go back or forward. And at the same time, unless you just make the forms visible equals false, then you need to that data that you've saved needs to persist throughout all of the forms until the final form when you submit it to the database. And the way I've got around that is by creating a driver and a taxi object and passing them as objects as parameters into each form class. So if we look at the code, it can be created on its own, but the overloaded instantiation method takes a driver and a taxi, which is what if you look at the original form will pass it one. So as in the next event, it creates one and passes it in the driver and the taxi that it's created there, and so forth throughout each form. It does the same thing, and throughout each of the forms, data is added to those objects. And as it goes through the forms, those objects are slowly collecting more and more data, and by the time they reach the final object, they'll have every piece of data they need, and you can go back through each form, but you're always passing the same two objects through each form, so they're collecting information or maybe losing information. Either way, it's the same objects that are just getting passed to and from each form, and that's it.